Today's video, we will be reviewing Rage Trade, an Arbitrum-based perpetual futures DEX that has the potential to become the most liquid perpetual futures DEX in crypto by utilizing omni-chain liquidity, but we'll dive more into that later. Now, this video is going to be a first in a long series where I'm going to take a look at various different perpetual futures DEXs, give a little bit of a review, take a look at some of the special features and what I think about it at the end. And so today we're going to start off with Rage Trade. There's about 30 in total that I could end up actually doing, and that number is growing every day. So let's just get into this. So as I've said before, this is live on Arbitrum. Here's the website up here. And because it's on Arbitrum, you're going to need to bridge some funds over. Now, I recommend that you can use something like transfer2.xyz, which is powered by Life Finance. This is a bridge aggregator, so it will take you from basically most EVM chains out there, and it can take you to Arbitrum as well. And it will give you the most efficient route, the cheapest ones, the fastest ones, so on and so forth. And so, yeah, definitely take a look at this if you want to actually bridge your funds over to Arbitrum, and then you can start using Rage Trade. Now, Rage Trade uses USDC as collateral, so you're going to need to swap any ETH or any other tokens you have there for USDC before you can actually start trading on Rage Trade. Another cool thing with Rage Trade is that you have sub accounts in here. So I have my main account and then sub account 1. If you press add account here, you do that, you press create a new account, and then you'll have to confirm this action in your wallet. I'm not going to do it for now, but that is something you can do, and that will cost you, like, I don't know, whatever the transaction fee on Arbitrum is right now. So it could be range anywhere from like 7 cents to 15 cents. But here is the basic UI that we have here for a Rage Trade. Rage Trade has only been live on mainnet for, I want to say, like a month or something like that. And so it doesn't really have all of the functionality that, say, something like a DYDX has. So what we have here is an ETH USDC perp. This is the only one that you can trade, and I think it's going to be the only one that you can trade for the future, because the whole focus around Rage Trade is to become the most liquid Ethereum perpetual futures DEX out there. And we'll talk more about how they're actually going to achieve that, but just quickly taking a look at this. Of course, you have the basic index price, mark price, 24-hour change, TVL, and funding rates up here. You have basic chart functionality here as well. Nothing too fancy, although I think, for the most part, people aren't really going to use this chart here. They're just going to go to TradingView and use that to do any of their charting, where they might just use Rage Trade as somewhere to execute a trade. So we'll go into this. Let's place a trade for 100 USDC. So I have $137.40 in my account here. You can use up to 4.75x leverage because Rage Trade is still early. I think this can go up to potentially 10x in the future, but there's not a lot of liquidity here, and so they don't want people taking massive trades. So we'll only do 100 USDC. If we take a look here at the current price, this is the same as the mark price. So that's the price of the ETH USDC perp here on Rage Trade. And the execution price is the price that you're actually going to buy in at. Although they say, the current price is $126.69. You're actually buying at 1,630.65 cents. This is your transaction fee, and this is also your price impact as well. So we're just going to execute this trade. We'll press swap. We'll have a MetaMask notification coming up, and we'll press confirm. There we go. And there we go. My position has showed up. So I've taken a 0.0613 ETH position. This is my entry price, which is quite a bit higher than the index price, as you can see here, and I haven't paid any funding yet. And if we go up to here, we can just press history. So this will show all of the trades that you've done previously. And now I've used this just doing a little bit of testing, seeing how much that I would pay in fees and the spread that you have here as well. As you can see, I've done quite a few trades here as well. If we go up here, we can see that the funding that you've paid as well. If we go to liquidations, I have none because I've not done any big leverage trades here, and this will show you my wallet and when I actually deposited, and the vaults is something that we'll go into in a second. So if I go back to trade and I just want to close this position, I can either go to short and then short the equivalent amount here, so that would be 0.0613, and that should do the trick, or I can just press close position here. Obviously you can do this manually, but it is just easier to do that. And then we'll just get all of our stuff here. So realized P&L is minus 49 cents. Awesome. Let me press confirm close, and then we'll just confirm this in MetaMask. And now that we've seen how to place trades, we're going to click on this tab here, which shows us the vaults. So this shows the recycled liquidity that Rage Trade uses. So you have here a vault where you can deposit TriCrypto LP tokens, USDC, WETH, and ETH. Now we're going to take a look into some of the Rage Trade docs to really explain what's going on here, and this will make a lot more sense. So Rage Trade is looking to build the most liquid, composable, and only omni-chain ETH perp powered by Uniswap v3. So the core features are as follows. So you'll be able to trade ETH perpetual futures with 10x leverage. They have omni-chain recycled liquidity and yield generating 80-20 volts. So what is omni-chain recycled liquidity? Well, recycled liquidity allows for Rage to reuse ETH USDC liquidity across chains and protocols to provide liquidity into their ETH perpetual future. So we'll take this diagram here. This will really show what's going on. So you have various different chains here: Arbitrum, Avalanche, Ethereum, and Phantom. And you'll be able to take your automatic market maker LP tokens, your money market LP tokens, and your derivative LP tokens, and then you'll be able to put them into the 80-20 vault in Rage Trade. And you can take them from the various different chains, and what they're looking to do is take all of the chains that are compatible with layer 0. So the goal here is to take $50 billion of ETH USDC liquidity and then pump it into the Rage Trade ETH perp that you have here. So these 80-20 volts that Rage Trade is talking about is quite cool. And so the innovation here is that you'll be able to collateralize LP tokens from different AMMs, borrower and lending pools, and other derivatives as well. And so 80% of that TVL earns yield in the external pool, and then 20% of that TVL provides concentrated liquidity on Rage Trade. Another cool thing that Rage Trade is looking to build is a delta neutral vault. So if you're familiar with Umami, they were basically offering a similar thing, which is delta neutral vaults that sit on top of GMX. And Rage Trade is looking to offer something similar. So you'll have a risk off vault. So this will allow users to deposit USDC that can serve as collateral on Aave while earning the Aave supply APR, as well as a portion of ETH rewards from GMX based on utilization ratios. And then you also have the risk on vault. So this earns yield on GLP while neutralizing ETH and Bitcoin price exposure. And since proportions of ETH and Bitcoin can change on GMX, the vault updates the short on every rebalance. And what's cool about this is that they've shown a little backtest of what can actually happen when you're using these risk on and risk off vaults. And so you have the risk on vault returns here, backtested from January to September 2022. And you can see here people have been holding GLP since the start of the year. Have actually not made any money, and that's because, you know, of the intense bear market, of course, and actually they're not down that much. But as you can see here, the risk on vaults, which have been aiming to do a sort of a delta neutral yield strategy here, which has earned users almost 30% here, so that's quite good. And then the risk off vault has yielded about 6 to 8% APY compared to the 0.5% supply APY on Aave. So they're doing quite well here. And the yield is coming from the lending interest on Aave, and then ETH yield split from GLP as well. There are a few things that I like to talk about when assessing perpetual futures dexes, and we'll jump into it right now with Rage Trade. So asset support is poor. Of course, I mean, they're only supporting ETH USDC as something that you can actually trade. I mean, it's the goal of Rage Trade to be the most liquid ETH perpetual futures dex out there, so we can't hold it against it that much. But if you're looking to trade anything else other than Ethereum, then you obviously just can't use Rage Trade. And now when it comes to trading tools, you don't really have much here either. I mean, you have this basic chart with very little functionality. You don't really have that many orders, right? You only have a market long, market short. There's no stop orders, there's no limit orders, there's no trailing orders, there's no TWAP, none of that. You don't really have that much to choose from when actually using Rage Trade. Now when it comes to actual usability, Rage Trade scores very highly. I mean, it's just very easy to use. I mean, there's not much choice that you have here. You can open a trade, close a trade quite easily. There's not these a million different order types. it shows you, you know, what's going on pretty clearly, and you only have to press like, you know, 2 or 3 buttons to actually get a trade going, and then you can see all of your trades here as well. And so, you know, when it comes to usability, I would say that's quite high. When it comes to fees and actually trade execution, this is where Rage Trade massively falls short. I mean, as you've seen here before, right, it's actually way more expensive here to trade on Rage Trade than it would be to say on like DYDX or FTX. I think the fees, if we just click here, I think you've got 0.15% per trade. Now, if we just take an example here, so we'll do a 500 USDC long on Rage Trade, and that will cost 75 cents. But if I open up DYDX and we're doing a similar trade, it's only costing 24 cents, and you're getting better execution here as well. So the expected price on here is like 1,631. We go back to Rage Trade, 1,633. And so you're getting better execution and less transaction fees on DYDX versus Rage Trade. So it's not looking good there. But I will say Rage Trade is still very much in its early stages. I mean, the vaults have, you know, very small amount of TVR. This is going to raise in the future as well. This is only opened up on Arbitrum right now, and you only have Try Crypto in here for LP, and so of course it's going to get more liquid, and then all of these problems that you're going to see here are going to vanish in the future. And a lot of the problems that we have generally here with Rage Trade is simply because it's a new protocol. I know, for example, Drift, when it first came out, it was very basic as well. It was similar to this, and they've really stepped up their game. Over a year later, they've got lots of new features as well. And so Rage Trade is still new, and I expect a lot of this to change. Now let's take a look into collateral support. So you only have USDC here that you can trade against. Again, I think this is going to be the only one that you'll be able to trade against in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if they allowed you to trade against USDC or another decentralized stablecoin. In terms of leverage, currently you can get up to 4.75x leverage. I think on my account I had, you know, roughly something like that. I think the limit might be 5x leverage right now, and then this can increase to 10x leverage in the future. But of course, Rage is still early, and so they're going to be increasing that leverage limit in the future. And so just to conclude, Rage Trade is a new perpetual futures DEX live on Arbitrum. It's not great for actually doing trades right now, and I would recommend staying away from it if you're actually looking to do some serious trading. Now, Rage Trade, because it is recently live on mainnet and it doesn't have a token, you know, you're highly likely to get an airdrop from this. And in fact, I think they have confirmed on their Twitter beforehand that they will be doing an airdrop. And so it does make sense to actually go ahead and use Rage Trade, give the devs some feedback, and I'm sure they'll be happy to take it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. All of the websites I visited will be left in the description down below, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one.